Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com. And some people have been asking me my age, and so I'm 81 years young, and I'm showing you how many volts have got left on there. And my mind and my body don't totally agree on that young part, but so far my mind is taking the advantage. So anyway, in previous video, I said I got 25 miles on my e-trike, and when I got home, it was pulsing, and so that was, because it got down to 40 volts. Well, then I got to thinking, well, when it gets to 40 volts and it pulses, how far can you go while it's pulsing? Well, I had a situation arise here recently, just before this ride, where I had run the battery down to about 42 volts. So I thought, well, I'm going to go do a test, and then when it starts pulsing, I'll see how far I can actually go from that point. So, and this is not an accurate test, but I'm sure it's pretty close. If you can see the corner up in the right-hand corner, it's reading 41 plus volts. So at this point in time, and once in a while it pops up at 42. So I'm just going along waiting for it to decide to start pulsing. And then occasionally it'll hit 40 volts. And so when it hit 40 volts before and stayed there or remained there, then it had started pulsing. And so, and by the way, when I look back, I want to make sure that the camera is still aimed at the display. So there, every once in a while, I get a 40 volt, a 41 and a 40, and a 41 and a 40. When I slow down, of course, it goes to 42. So now I'm going to go back towards my house because it looks like it's starting to pulse. When it pulses, it goes from, as it's pulsing, it goes up to 41, and then when the motor starts again, it goes back down to 40. So right now it's pulsing between 40 and 41, and 40 and 41, and so it's jumping back and forth between the two, which is to be expected because when you let up on the throttle, the voltage always rises. So it's 41, 40, and 41 and 40. And this is not a true, accurate test, but I just wanted to know how far can I actually go when it starts pulsing, which it has done there. It's just jumping back and forth between 40 and 41. Now start keeping your eye on the speed indicator because this is about the point where finally it just stopped pulsing and turned off. And so as you can see, I'm checking to see how far it went, and because the voltage is turned off by the electronic speed control. But on that little indicator on my display, it says I went 0.3 miles from where I started. And see, that's not accurate. It's probably more like 0.2. But I can't get it to go again. So when that happens, if you're not right at home and you got a ways to go, then it's time to start pedaling. And by the way, I have to make a correction. In my last video where I did the distance thing, my indicator, the instrument, showed I went 25 miles. But later when I looked at my GPS bike tracker, it showed that I only went 22.6 miles. So that means that the tire size in my settings menu is set too small. So I'll have to jump it up one notch because I would rather, if I've got 25 miles, if there's something 25 miles away, I want to make sure I can actually get to it. So the tire size is not as accurate as it could be. And then also, I'll put a link to that video. And also, what had happened previous to this that made it happened was I keep my rear tires at about 11 pounds, so they're softer on these dirt roads. And so, but where I went, and I had to, in order to make it home in the situation I was in, I needed to fill the pump the tires up a lot more. So I pumped the tires up the full amount. Otherwise, trying to pedal right now would be a lot more difficult. And so, like I always say, carry a tire pump in your e-bike, your e-trike, because you never know when you're going to need extra pressure, or like if you just start to get a leak somewhere. So I carry a tire pump and a tire gauge in those little pouches on the back. So anyway, that when you hit pedal, when you get to 40 volts, be prepared to start pedaling. And at that, I want to say thank you for watching my video, and I'll pet my dog and say, God bless.